Hey friends, welcome to another Power Vinyasa class. Today's sequence is meant to challenge you as we find flying splits. So whether or not you find this arm balance, know that you are still leave class feeling stronger and more open. You have a set of optional props. Maybe you grab 2 yoga blocks to help you play around with range of motion on your right and left sides. I'll be mirroring you guys in today's class. So lifting your right arm will look like this. Lifting your left arm will look like this. If you're using blocks, set them off to the upper right-hand corner of your space. Let's meet warm and strong in high plank pose. High-five your hands to the ground. Eyes look towards the top edge of your mat. Slight tuck of your chin towards your throat. Breathe in through your nose. Fill up in your ribs and belly. Breathe out through your nose to 3, 2, 1. Keep pressing the earth away from you, breathing in. Slight tuck of your chin towards your throat. Spine is long. And breathe out to 3, 2, 1. One more breath in your high plank pose, feeling warm. Now as you breathe out, send your knees in opposite directions. Knees touch down. Extended child's pose. Twice more through. Inhale, rock onto your toes, finding your high plank pose. And send your knees out, breathe out, finding your child's pose. One more count. Inhale, lifts you all the way up into your high plank. And exhale. Top of your next inhale, walk your hands under your shoulders. Press up into a tabletop. Can you send your fingers out in opposite directions? Scoop your belly to the earth, heart and head face the right-hand side of your space, finding a cow pose. Holding your cow pose, draw a circle with your torso in one direction. And when you've finished up your circle, reverse out your direction. Holding your back bend, feeling openness to your heart. Bring it all the way back to the center. Now punch your hands into fists to the earth. Exhale, scoop your back up to the ceiling, finding your cat pose. One circle in one direction. Feel openness to your shoulders, hips, and low back. Now go ahead and reverse out your orbit, finding your circles in the opposite direction. Feel the back of your neck grow long. Top of your next inhale, flip your fingers towards the front. Palms touch down, curl onto your toes, send your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Pedal out one leg and the other, feeling a stretch to your legs and lengthening in your spine. Now start to find stillness in your down dog. Little bend to your knees is welcome. Inhale, sweep your right leg up and back. As you exhale, crunch, knee to chest, finding your tiger crunch. One more count. Inhale, right leg up and back. And exhale, crunch, knee to chest. Look forward, step your right foot in between your hands. TP onto your fingers. Keep a strong bend to your right knee. Point your left toes out to a diagonal. Inhale, lift your torso up. Strong bend to your front knee. Make sure you can see your front toes. Now as you exhale, hinge forward, lightning bolt pose. Think of your back like a flat ramp. Bend your elbows towards your ribs. One more count. Inhale, lifting up. Finding your warrior one, and exhale, finding your lightning bolt pose. Hold right here. Feel the nice strength and heat build in your right leg. Lace your fingers in back of you. Inhale, lift all the way up into warrior one. As you exhale, hinge at your hips again. This time, right shoulder rests against your thigh. We find a humble warrior. Can you look towards your back foot? As you're breathing into humble warrior, maybe right shoulder dips to the inside of your knee. Sway your arms from side to side. Shake your head, nod your head. Feel a nice release to your low back. One more breath in your humble warrior. Can you dip your right shoulder closer to your right foot? Eyes stay looking towards your left foot. Maybe palms touch. On your next exhale, release the grip of your fingers, hands to the inside of your right leg. Keep a bend to your right knee and lift your left toes. Finding a side lunge Koundinyasana. Steady breath in through your nose and out. Bend your left knee. Walk your hands to meet your left foot. Make sure your heart is open. Shoulders are stacked over your hips. Stay active in your right toes. Pivot to face the opposite end of your space. Hands touch down, framing your left foot. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Send your knees in opposite directions. Hands walk to meet your feet. We'll find a yogi squat. You can start off by walking your feet at least hip-width distance apart. Start to tune into how your feet feel. Maybe it feels better to keep your heels lifted, or maybe heels want to touch down. Heart stays open towards the front. Can you bring your elbows closer to your hips? Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. From here, we'll start to reach our arms forward. We're going to start to travel to the top edge of our mat. From here, I bend my elbows, strong 90-degree shape, eyes look forward. As I exhale, my big toes tap, and then I soundlessly land towards the earth. I start to round in my shoulders. Start to bring your blocks along with you for the ride. So, I always slide the blocks in front of my feet. Hands touch down, I lift my heels, back stays rounded, tapping my toes and soundless landing towards the earth. Couple more counts. How close can you draw your elbows to meet your ankles? Find your hop and then land on your feet. We'll all meet towards the opposite end of our space in our yogi squat. From here, let's go ahead and play around finding crow pose. Maybe you bring a block between your hips. Toes can touch down on your block. And same pose right here. My elbows stay bent. If my big toes are touching on the block, I find what I call a gargoyle pose. Knees bend out in opposite directions. I walk the back of my arms closer to my shins. I keep the rounding to my back, eyes look forward, and I start to rock forward. Now here's a great place to stay. You can keep your big toes tapped against your block. Maybe start to lift one set of toes and then the other. This is option 1 in your crow. Option 2, maybe you bring both blocks underneath both of your hands. Elbows draw closer to your shins. My eyes stay looking forward. My feet are slightly wider apart. I build a strong shelf with my arms against my shins. Back is rounded, eyes look forward. Your third option is maybe no block. Elbows closer to my ankles, eyes look forward, same thing. Maybe I lift one set of toes and then the other. Maybe I lift both sets of toes. Strong bend to my elbows, elbows stack over my wrists. When you're all set with your crow pose, softly set your toes down. Step your right foot to the top of your mat, left foot steps to the back. Inhale, crescent warrior. Strong 90-degree bend to your right leg. As you exhale, hinge at your hips, back heel stays lifted in your lightning bolt pose. This time around, we're going to take flight. Exhale, lift your left leg. Inhale, tap down. 2 more counts. Exhale, lift. Inhale, tap. Feel the strong balance, torso stays still. Once you've finished up your toe taps, left toes point out. Inhale, lace your fingers together, palms together to touch, look up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, finding humble warrior. Make sure your shoulders draw away from your ears in humble warrior. Inhale, look to the top edge of your mat. Unlace your fingers, hands touch down. Left knee touches down. Find a half split. Option to bring blocks under your hands as you stack your shoulders over your hips. We want to avoid any rounding to the shoulders right here. So if your shoulders start to round, maybe you just bring your blocks onto a higher height. Steady breath in through your nose. Maybe start to lift your right foot, feeling the strength of our low belly. And as you exhale, tap your toes down. 2 more counts. Inhale, finding a lift with your front foot. Little bend to your right knee is welcome. And exhale. I always like to stay active in my toes as I lift and lower. Beautiful job. Set your blocks off to either side of your space. Re-bend in your right knee. Back knee stays grounded. Now I'm going to put on a backpack with my right arm. I'm going to find a lizard lunge. Shoulder comes close to my right knee. Can I still keep looking towards the top edge of my space? My neck stays long. Think back to high plank pose. Back is flat. Top of your next inhale, let's point our right toes out to a diagonal. Hands touch down to the inside of your right foot. Right toes point out in your lizard lunge. If you have blocks, go ahead and slide them to the center of your mat. Just give yourself more space. Now we're going to find a lizard hop switch. Can you curl onto your back toes, lifting your left knee? Inhale, heart faces forward, finding more of your back bend. As you exhale, look towards the top edge of your mat, hop and jump, switch your feet. So now your left toes are pointed out to a diagonal, heart opens up. It's like your hands are in cement the whole time. Exhale, jump, hop, and switch. Right leg in the front, toes point out. Breathing in, opening up your heart, and exhale. Thinking of plank pose every time as you jump, switch. Just one more right here. Exhale, jump, switch, right leg in the front. Back to your first position. You can rest your left knee onto the ground. From here, let's go ahead and find our backpack pose again. I'm bringing my right shoulder to meet my right knee. From here, can I find a 90-degree bend to both of my arms? Think back to your crow pose. Option 1, maybe I bring blocks underneath my hands. Now I want to keep my elbows close to my torso the whole time. And I thread my right arm underneath my right knee. And my left elbow is going to rest underneath my ribs. Another option is even hugging your elbow into your ribs. From here, can you curl onto your back toes? Keep your eyes looking forward. Now here's a great place to stay. Maybe you start by lifting your front leg, maybe even lifting your back leg. Steady breath in your flying splits. And sometimes as you find your center of gravity, maybe your nose is just hovering a couple of inches off the ground. That is the option with the blocks. If you're not using any blocks, let's meet back in our first position of lizard. My toes point outwards, right toes out. I find my backpack with my right arm. I walk my left elbow nice and close to my ribs. Now I'm building a shelf with my arms. Can I start to play around with lifting and lowering my back knee? Can I start to lift my front foot, maybe even my back foot? And here, maybe your face draws closer to the earth. Less distance between you and the ground. Steady breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Beautiful job. When you are ready, tap down with your back toes. Come back to your lizard lunge. Heel toe your right foot in. Let's find an extended child's pose. Knees together to touch. Melt your hips to meet your heels. Arms reach forward. Feeling a nice stretch to our arms. High five your hands, bend your elbows, thumbs to the back of your head. Shimmy your shoulders from side to side. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Inhale, lift your head and chest. Press onto your hands. Go ahead and slide your blocks to the top edge of your space. Can you point your fingers in opposite directions? Breathe in through your nose. Scoop your belly to the earth, finding your cow pose. Draw circles in one direction. An option right here to flip the backs of your hands down to the earth this time. When you finished up your circle, holding your back bend, reverse out your circle. On your next exhale, punch your hands into fists. Arch your back up to the ceiling, finding your cat pose. Draw circles in one direction. Keep your eyes looking towards your heels. Once you've finished out your circle, reverse it. Keep your back arching up to the ceiling. Nice stretch to your wrists. Inhale, plant your hands to the earth. Back is flat. Curl onto your toes. Send your hips up and back for downward dog. You can pedal out one leg and the other. Can you send your hips up and back just a bit more? Start to find a steady stillness to your down dog. Inhale. Send your left leg up and back. As you exhale, crunch. Knee to chest, look forward. Strong in your tiger crunch. One more. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, crunch. Knee to chest, look forward, and step your left foot forward. Onto the tips of your fingers. Point your right toes to a diagonal. Inhale, lift up into a warrior one. Hips stay facing the front. As you exhale, hinge at your hips. Bend your elbows to hug your ribs. Back is flat, lightning bolt pose. Hold right here, maybe ball your hands into fists and draw circles. Just one more count. Inhale, spread your fingers, open up to warrior one. And exhale, keep your legs nice and still. You're just finding the movement to your upper body. Inhale, lace your fingers together, palms touch. Lift your torso up. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Left shoulder rests on your thigh, finding humble warrior. Maybe as you breathe into your humble warrior hold, left shoulder dips to the inside of your knee. You can find a sway with your arms, maybe a shake with your head. Now inhale, look forward. Plug your shoulders into their joints. So down and away from your ears. Exhale. Hands touch down. Find your side lunge Koundinyasana. Maybe start to lift your right toes. Hands can touch. Steady breath in through your nose. As you breathe out, go ahead and switch it out. Hands walk over to your right foot. Left toes lift. Top of your next inhale. Let's go ahead and pivot to the opposite side of our space in low lunge. Press your hands against the earth. Step your right foot back to meet your left. Send your knees out in opposite directions. Hands walk to meet your feet in your yogi squat. You're welcome to walk your feet out wider, just like the first time, and start to notice where your heels want to land. Do your heels want to stay lifted, or can they draw closer to the earth? What's important right here is that we keep our heart open and looking forward. You can find a sway from side to side, getting ready to prep for your squat hop. Top of your next inhale, reach your arms forward. Find a bend to your elbows, and your elbows bend closer to your ankles. As you exhale, big toes touch, and inhale, soft landing with your toes against the earth. Let's slide our blocks along for the ride. Hands touch down. Here for an inhale, look forward, rounding in your back, and exhale. Breathing in, opening up, sliding your blocks closer to the front, and exhale. Soundless landing is key. One more squat hop. Slide your blocks closer to the front, hands come forward, inhale, and exhale. Hold for the inhale in your yogi squat. From here, let's go ahead and find a crow pose. So, 3 different options. You can place a block in between your feet. Hands touch down, big toes touch. We send our knees out in opposite directions, and I start to walk my elbows closer to my shins. Eyes look forward. Maybe this time you draw your shoulders closer to your knees. Lift one set of toes, maybe both. Make sure your eyes look forward the whole time. Other option, can bring one block under either hand. Then we start to slide our blocks closer to our feet. Finding our squat, arching our back up to the ceiling. Play around with lifting one set of toes followed by the other. And protect your wrists right here. Ground down in your index finger and thumbs. Final option, maybe no blocks. Hands meet the earth, elbows come close to your ankles, and step one foot forward, followed by the other. Keep breathing in through your nose, maybe out through your mouth. When you are ready, stay active in your toes, soft landing onto your feet. Moving on to our left side, find a lunge. Right leg steps to the back, left leg to the front, knees bent. Inhale, crescent warrior. Arms go up and back. As you exhale, hinge at your hips. Now we keep our back nice and flat. Strong bend to your left knee. Let's go ahead and find a lift and lower with our back leg. Exhale, lift your right leg. Inhale, tap down. 2 more counts. Exhale, lift and lower. Feel free to ball your hands into fists and draw circles with your wrists. When you've finished up your reps, let's go ahead and plant our hands to the earth. Inhale, lift up, crescent warrior, extra credit pose. Exhale, hands connect, point your right toes out to a diagonal. Hinge at your hips, finding humble warrior. Again, shoulder can rest on your thigh, or maybe dip your shoulder to the inside of your knee. Now look at the block on the right-hand side of your space, breathing in. As you breathe out, unlace your fingers, hands touch down. Right knee touches down. You can bring blocks underneath your hands as you find your half split. Again, you have 3 different heights to play around with in your half split, hands on blocks. Can you stack your shoulders over your hips? Exhale, find a lift with your left leg and inhale, tap down. A bend to your left knee is welcome. Maybe even stay active in your toes. Beautiful. Top of your next inhale, re-bend in your left knee. Set your blocks off to either side of your space. Let's find our lizard lunge. Pointing your left toes out to a diagonal, find your backpack. Left arm underneath your left leg. Shoulder meets your knee in your backpack. Can your eyes look up to the top edge of your space? Maybe you even curl onto your back toes. Think of plank pose. Spine stays long. One more beat in backpack pose. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. At the bottom of your exhale, lower your right knee onto the ground. Both hands come to the inside of your left foot. Point your left toes out. Finding your back bend, heart faces the front. Steady breath in through your nose. Now as you exhale, curl onto your right toes, lifting your right knee. Let's take our jump switch. Again, hands stay stable the whole time. As you exhale, feet come towards the center and right toes point out. Exhale, find your jump switch, and inhale, look forward. Opening up your hips and heart. Exhale and inhale. Last one, find your exhale and inhale. Beautiful job. Now lower onto your right toes. From here, let's bring our blocks underneath our hands. We'll go ahead and find our backpack pose again. So, right shoulder underneath our right knee. I start to walk my right elbow close into my torso. I'm resting my ribs on top of my right arm, or my right arm is just squeezing in towards my ribs. Here for an inhale, can I curl onto my back toes? As I exhale, lifting my left foot, maybe lifting my back leg. Maybe stay active in your toes. And it's okay if your nose wants to touch the ground too. It's all about different lengths of the torso, different centers of gravity. Keep that strong bend to your elbows. Steady breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. With control, touch your back foot to the earth, front foot touches down. Option to play around with this with no blocks this time. So as you set up, you can shake out your hands, maybe ball your hands into fists, taking a nice stretch. When you are ready, let's go ahead and find our backpack again. Left shoulder underneath your left knee, hands touch down. I keep my elbows really close to my ribs, my eyes look forward. Can I curl onto my back toes, lifting my right knee? From here, I start to rock my weight forward, maybe lifting both of my feet. Steady breath in through your nose, maybe out through your mouth. Beautiful job. Notice how different this side may or may not feel from the other. You are here for 3, 2, and 1. Tap down with both of your feet. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Heel toe. Your left foot close in. Find an extended child's pose. Big toes touch, knees wide. Send your hips to your heels. Palms face the earth. Maybe palms touch now. Bend your elbows, thumbs to the back of your neck. Find a shimmy with your hips from side to side. Now inhale, rock yourself up onto your hands. Flip your fingers towards your knees. Extend your right leg long. Rock forwards and backwards. An option to keep a slight bend to your elbows. If this is a lot for your wrists, you can always send your fingers out in opposite directions. Switch out your legs. Left leg goes long. Notice how different this side may or may not feel from the other. Top of your next inhale. Let's go ahead and bring ourselves to an easy seat. Bent at your knees and crossed at your shins. Bring your palms together to touch and rub your hands up and down. Now separate your hands by 1 inch, feeling the good heat and energy you built. Palms come back together to touch. Bow your chin to your chest, sealing your practice. Namaste.